The IMF is uniquely trained and highly motivated. Specialist without equal, immune to any countermeasures.
Rogue Nation is only the 5th Mission Impossible movie in nearly 20 years. The series has flirted with the idea of continuity before, introducing supporting characters and love interests for Ethan Hunt, but for the most part the movies have always felt like one-shots, opportunities for Tom Cruise to do increasingly crazy stuff. By that token, Rogue Nation succeeds, with Cruise once again defying the odds in spectacular fashion, but it fails to build on the events of Ghost Protocol.
We've never met before, right?
Follow me.
But early on, Rogue Nation threatens to add some depth. Ethan Hunt has become a legend within the IMF, but the higher-ups have begun to question the psychology of the long-serving agent. There must be something wrong with a man who never gives up. Post-Snowden, it's become something of an embarrassment. Leading the inquiry is Alec Baldwin, who has some of the very best lines in the movie. Hunt, meanwhile, is tracking down the Syndicate, a clandestine network of ex-secret agents. In fact, it's the mission he receives at the end of Ghost Protocol, the implication being it's been eating up governmental resources ever since. At one point, it's even implied that Hunt might be delusional, perpetuating the mission because he gets off risking his life. But whatever ambiguity exists in the opening act quickly gives way to Cruise doing his thing in a carefree way. That's not necessarily a criticism, since Rogue Nation's central missions are fun, tense affairs which freely dispense with realism. But with Hunt working off the grid, the new IMF team formed during Ghost Protocol is cast to one side. While it's slowly reassembled, Cruise mainly works alone, supported by Simon Pegg's computer expert Benji, who is given the most to do, though that mainly consists of using a laptop to open doors and downloading files onto a USB. Ving Rhames and Jeremy Renner are much less fortunate, pushed into minor supporting roles. If Ghost Protocol suggested Renner might one day succeed Cruise as the star of the series, Rogue Nation overturns that. His biggest set piece is running through a car park in London. Rebecca Ferguson gets closest to matching Cruise's screen time, playing Ilsa, a member of the Syndicate whose allegiances are never quite clear. She's great in the film, excels in the fight sequences, and even has to save Hunt on occasion. She also adds to the film's intrigue and high espionage feel. It wants to play with ambiguity like the very best films in the genre. Is Hunt losing his mind? Can Ilsa or Renner's character Brandt really be trusted? Does the Syndicate even exist? But apart from Ilsa, there's never really any doubt in play. The Syndicate remains a shadowy antagonist throughout, but not in a good way. Hunt relays some of the terrible things the organisation has accomplished, but you never see any of it, leaving the Syndicate feeling a little impotent as a threat. It manifests in a few easily dispensed hitmen, and a lot rests on the figurehead played by Sean Harris, the closest Rogue Nation gets to a standard villain. His delivery is cold and cliched, however, and his motivations unclear. That is until Hunt relays them at the end of the movie. It's a long way from Philip Seymour Hoffman.
You don't think I'll do it?
If you're looking for the Mission Impossible series to evolve, or use the team it set up at the end of the last movie, then Rogue Nation feels a bit like a detour, one which flirts with the idea of exploring the character of Ethan Hunt, the psychology of a man who doesn't know how to give up, but really all it wants to do is to celebrate that by strapping him to a plane. But should you choose to accept it, Rogue Nation is a largely fun movie with silly, suspenseful action and plenty of fantastical espionage.